Okay, so I read the Ravenhood series on a whim. Yeah, I was in a book slump, and the second one was immediately available on Libby, so I checked the others out on Hoopla, and I started it Friday afternoon and finished it Sunday evening. 3 books. I'm gonna start One Last Rainy Day today, which is gonna be hard because I know that that's not gonna end happy, because obviously I've seen it play out on screen, and I've seen a little bit, like I had the spoiler of spoilers, obviously. I had the spoiler of Dom dying, and I had the spoiler of who she's gonna end up with. Because I wanted to know, when there's more than one love interest and it's not a white choose, I wanna know who she's gonna end up with before I started, just for my own peace of mind. And I didn't know if I was gonna like this series because it is so sad, and because because I read that it was a love triangle, and I don't like love triangles. I don't like her picking. But this didn't feel like a love triangle because I didn't really feel like she picked, because she falls in love with Sean and Dom. She's in a polyamorous relationship with Sean and Dom, and they have this beautiful, but again, very young love. I don't know why I said again. They have this very young love. And it was beautiful and it was pure, and she loved them and they loved her. And then they get sent away. Which also, seeing in the finish line, getting to see that, him finding out about them and Cecilia and then sending the decision to send them away from Tobias's point of view, made it make so much more sense, because he did not want her involved in this. He had a vendetta against her dad, but he did not have a vendetta against the innocent young woman. And they brought her in regardless. And he didn't care that they were in love with her. He cared that that was a betrayal to him, and I understood that. But it didn't feel like there was really any choosing, because, they come back and Tobias comes into the picture, and it's almost like she doesn't have a choice. Like, her and Tobias are really just, like, first off, I love Tobias, but and they were meant to be together, obviously. And I loved the way that their relationship formed, the way that he wasn't expecting her. He wasn't expecting to fall in love with this girl, like 11 years younger than him, that he's made a point of, like, keeping out of things, of protecting. He didn't expect to fall in love with the girl that his brothers were in love with. But he did, and it wasn't really anything that they could control, and I really liked that aspect. But I feel like as soon as Tobias came into the picture, it was over between Sean and Dom, because they couldn't compete. It was a different kind of love. It was a more mature, more all-consuming love. And then Dom dies, which, stop myself crying. Dom dies, and I don't think, my sister said that she's read some people mad that Sean had his own happily ever after. And I think that's bullshit, because Sean deserved to be happy. Sean deserved to move on. Sean lost his best friend in the whole world and the girl he loved. He deserved to find somebody new. And he did, and he went from, I don't believe in saving and planning for a future, to family man, dad of 3. And I thought that was kind of a beautiful transformation. But I don't think it ever could have worked with Sean and Cecilia without Dom, because I think there always would have been a hole, and they would have grown to resent each other. And so I'm glad that it didn't go there, that he was able to move on. He was able to find love. And I loved the ending. I loved that they fought so hard for the ending. They went through so much shit. And Cecilia and Tobias get their happily ever after. They're getting married. They're hopefully gonna have a baby. And then it shows Sean, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a sneak peek into his family life, and you get to see, he really does love his wife. And I'm glad that he was able to find that and love his wife. And they have 3 beautiful children, and him bringing his son into the mix. And I loved it. I loved everything about this book series. And I have not stopped thinking about it, and I don't think I'm ever gonna stop thinking about it. This was one of the saddest, most beautiful books series that I've ever read, and I'm gonna start One Last Rainy Day, which is gonna be hard, because obviously I know how it's gonna end. And then I know how Seven Hearts gonna end too, because even if it doesn't show it on screen, I know she's gonna, because she does. This is everything, and I wish I'd read it sooner. Not gonna lie. Yes, that's all. Oh, also, 5 out of 5 all around, and the narration in the audiobook was incredible all around.